Hey class, welcome back to Chapter 3, Linear Relationships. Today we'll be looking at exercise 3G, midpoint and length of line segments. So previously we have used Pythagoras' theorem to solve for the length of any side in a right angled triangle. Today's concept is exactly the same, okay? So when we're looking for the length of a line segment, we're basically just using Pythagoras' theorem to find the difference between the height, okay, and the horizontal distance between 2 points, okay, and that there gives us our length of a line, okay. This would be the difference between your two y values, okay, y2 and y1, okay, and this would be the difference between your x values, so x, the maths there is not quite right, anyway, no, x2 and x1, there we go. So that's all that is there, okay? As for the midpoint of the line segment, we're looking for the point smack in the middle of that line, so just to help with the visual there, okay? The midpoint is right in the middle of those 2 points, and all that's going to be is the average, or whatever point is right in the middle of x1 and x2, and whatever point is right in the middle of y1 and y2. So that's how we get that formula, okay? They are, however, formulas, so you can, of course, use them to just solve for the solution, I suppose. All right, we're going to try an example. We're going to find the length and the midpoint of a line joining 2, 5, and 8, 3, which are our coordinates. So let's start with the length because it's written first. The length of the line, okay, is given by x2 take x1, and it probably helps if we label our points first, so x1, y1, x2, y2, just as we did when we solved the gradient in previous exercises. To solve for the length of the line, we need to calculate the difference between x2 take x1, which is 8 take away 2, and we want to square that just like we would in Pythagoras' theorem usually, okay, and we're going to add, okay, so again, they're adding together the two shorter sides of the triangle, y2 and minus y1, so in this case it is 3 take 5. Now what you might notice there is that we're going to get a negative, and that's okay because we square it at the end, which means we still get a positive answer. Okay, so to work through each step, 8 take away 2 is 6, which we then need to square, and 3 take away 5 is negative 2, which we're also going to square. Square of 6 is 36. The square of negative 2 is 4. So we're looking for the square root of 40, which if we enter that onto our calculator, we'll get about 6.23 units. And we don't know if it's in centimeters or meters. We don't know what each of those values along our x or y axes represent in measurement. So we just write the word units. And that's it. So all that was Pythagoras' theorem. Okay, again, subbing in x1, y1, x2, y2 into the correct spots. You could, of course, do y2 take y1 plus x2 take x1 and swap them. It wouldn't really make a difference as long as you're placing the one coordinate pair first and then the other coordinate pair second. Okay, don't go swapping these because that's going to get you a very incorrect answer. All right, let's move on to the midpoint. So the midpoint, which we're going to call M, is given by x1, y1. So again, using those same points. So x1 plus x2, it's 2 plus 8. And then the average of those two. And then 5 plus 3, so the average of the two y values. 2 plus 8 is 10, which is, of course, going to give us 5. And 5 plus 3 is 8, which means our midpoint for these 2 points is 5, 4. So right in the middle of those 2 points would be 5 and 5, 4 is the coordinate of the midpoint. This is a coordinate, okay? It's not a formula. We're not trying to solve for one number. So many students will try to add these, which is incorrect. Please do not do that, okay? You're finding the value of the x and of the y, okay? So the average of the x values and the average of the y to get a coordinate for your midpoint, okay? You were looking for a coordinate for midpoint. For length, it's just a number. That concludes today's lesson and the chapter, guys. As always, good luck with the work. Take care. Ask any questions that you may have, and I will speak to you all very soon.